North node shift happening now. So what does that mean? And what is the North Node and what is the South Node? So the North Node is also known as the Dragon's Head. South Node, its exact opposite, is also known as the Dragon Tail. And they're very much referring to past lives and also where our soul is evolving to. So let me just explain. The South Node, which you all have in your chart somewhere, it's very fascinating to look into where your South Node is in your chart, which house it lands in, because that means something, and which sign it is in, because that means something. And the South Node specifically refers to, and believe me, you need to know this part of it also if you're interested in knowing what the North Node means. And the North Node is probably what more people are going to be like highlighting right now, but both are equal in importance, and they're literally polar opposites, and they move consistently in this opposition from one another no matter what. They take about 1.5 years to move through a sign. So this North Node and South Node shift that we are experiencing as of January 11th, 2025, it's going to be happening in everyone's experience for the next 1.5 years in the signs of Pisces and Virgo. So real quick, what is the South Node again? The South Node, and I'll go into what is the North Node. So the South Node is where you've been in past lives. It is karmic cycles, meaning that it's usually like whenever we have something in the South Node or wherever the South Node is in our chart specifically, like personally, individually, you'll find that there are just kind of like knee-jerk tendencies that are really natural and easy. Like you've done this before, so it's just so easy to behave in that fashion. And it indicates having that strong energy in a previous lifetime or previous lifetimes. The North Node, the Dragon's Head, is so beautiful, and it's where our soul is calling us in this lifetime. It's like you want to find out more about where your higher self is residing. Definitely the North Node is going to give you a really strong indication. So wherever your North Node is in your chart, and what sign it is and which house it is in, is going to show you kind of like a pull or like a magnetic draw into that area, but it kind of feels like spirit's pushing you into it. Like there's a little bit of reluctancy to go into the North Node, even though it sounds like so beautiful and amazing. It is. It definitely gives so many gifts, but it's a little bit unnatural because you're really used to being in the opposite energy in past incarnations, and that energy pulls through. So one of the fun things about reading charts with astrology is there are a lot of placements and planets or asteroids or points of interest. I'd call the nodes more of a point of interest because they're not actually a planet or a luminary or an asteroid in the sky. I'll have to go into like those details in a more detailed video later on, okay? But the most important thing to recognize about it is that it's really where you're being asked to step into in this incarnation, which will feel both exciting, like something that you would aspire towards, or that you would love to embody more of or experience that. But it's like, but how do I even begin, in a way, okay? It's going to be different for every person depending on which other planets, asteroids, luminaries, placement things that you have near your North Node and your South Node in your natal chart. So, currently, this is a little horoscopy, I know, but we're going to be experiencing this for 1.5 years. So this is like beautiful to go into, actually. For me on this channel, all of the info is really meant to be more of a library that you can refer to at any point in time. And so when I go into more horoscope things, well, there's an expiration date on that in a sense, okay? So that's why I'm a little bit like, okay, but it's really important still to touch on what exactly is the North Node versus South Node, okay? find out where these are in your chart and start to contemplate, because your south node probably be like, oh yeah, I've definitely known myself to behave that way in that area of my life, like over and over and over again. Like, oh, this is a cycle that I can become more aware of in this incarnation and adjust or shift or transition into a new cycle where my soul is feeling more aligned, but it's a little bit like, well, I've never really done that before. I don't know if I can embody that, or how do I even become that, right? So it takes work to really move towards your north node. Temptation always to react from the south node. Okay, that being said, because I need to make sure this is short because I'm heading out to dinner, honey. I'm gonna eat some Mexican food. For my Aries watching, the Aries collective, because the North Node has been transitioning through the sign of Aries for the past year and a half, at this point in time, as it's transitioning to Pisces, because the nodes are the only thing in the astrological chart that go clockwise. They're the only thing that always go clockwise. The nodes never retrograde. They're always moving in clockwise motion. Whereas if you didn't know, everything else in astrology actually moves in counterclockwise. That's a whole nother video, especially if you're on Canva or trying to create graphics. You'll notice the graphics are always backwards. Like, come on, can people like just actually like do a little bit of research on an astrological chart before they make all these pictures? Okay, sorry, a little vent there. So the North Node is moving into Pisces from Aries, right? Because the nodes go backwards. On the chart, it's actually moving in clockwise fashion. So we'll get into that in another video in the future, because there's going to be tons of videos on all of this stuff, okay? We're going to be talking about this stuff for a while, a long time. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be pouring my astrology heart out for you folks, and I really hope that this helps. So with the North Node moving into Pisces, it means that as a collective, we are going to be embracing a lot more of our inner peace, tranquility, whatever brings us peace, tranquility, closer connection to spirituality. I was going to say spirit, but spirituality came out, so both. And you will be, it would behoove us all to focus on not only that inner peace, which the world needs. It's wild out there. Sending so much love out to the world and all the chaos. Okay. So the South Node being in Virgo, approaching Virgo, is really we could be tempted to really pay attention to the drama and the noise outside. I'm not saying Virgo's dramatic. That's not what I'm trying to say. Just like beware, okay? The North Node in Pisces, it might feel uncomfortable to tune the world out a bit. Put on those rose-tinted glasses that Pisces wears so well, and allow your imagination to create dreams, to create things that feel more uplifting, that feel healing, that feel soothing. So focusing on arts, any type of artistic, creative focus that you can embody in this next year and a half is going to help you on your journey of tranquility and inner peace while the world goes haywire. And hopefully the world will go less haywire if each person in the world chose to focus in on that inner peace, on their imagination, on their desire to feel more connected with everything and feel more compassionate. These are Piscean keywords, illuminated keywords. Compassion, patience, forgiveness, understanding, grace. So with that, allow yourself to get more into your meditation practice. Yoga can be so helpful right now. Dancing, ice skating, if you're an ice skater. It's a Piscean thing if you didn't know, actually. Okay, you can always Google Pisces keywords, which I'll have more videos on Pisces for sure. I love the fish. The fish are so lovely. So whether you're a Pisces or not, we all as a collective are going to be asked to focus on these things a bit more rather than focusing on the day-to-day ins and outs, the routines, the watching the news, these are Virgo kind of things, running errands, day-to-day routine, job drama, perchance, or job. Hopefully you love your job and it's a source of peace and tranquility for you. It's wonderful if that is. Mine is. Little celebration in the back. Okay, what time is it? I've got to go. So for my Aries collective, and for everybody, we've just spent the past year and a half with the North Node moving through Aries. And so, especially if you're in Aries, you will feel this a bit more. And that does go for my Pisces too, the next year and a half. This is really going to highlight your sun sign if you're watching because you're a sun sign Pisces. But what it means is that the Aries lessons that ideally have been embodied are ways of being more independent, being more of a leader, right? Like as we're watching leadership around the world and like maybe questioning it, maybe not, maybe questioning it, focusing on, well, how can I lead? How can I lead in my life? How can I lead in my community? These are really important things to learn. How can I be more independent? How can I forge new pathways? Okay, so those are highlighted lessons that we've been going through for the past year and a half as a collective. And being an Aries myself, I feel like I definitely, here's the thing with the North Node, it's gonna feel uncomfortable. It's not gonna just be so easy. It's that when you do go through it and you make yourself like learn these lessons and embody the energy of the North Node, by the time it shifts, you should feel like way more comfortable with that energy. And it's a new skill set for you. It's new strength, and it's just, it always gives good fortune. It's like good karma, and the South Node is like bad karma. And it's so easy for us to go back into those temptation, knee-jerk ways of being in the past. So that's a bit about the North Node for now. I'm off to eat my Mexican food. I hope you guys are doing well. And I'll see you in the next video. I'm really excited to eat.